Manuals are dying, and here's why this could be an absolute disaster. So have you heard about this? There are now just 82 new car models here in the UK that you can buy with a manual gearbox. That's it, just 82. And a decade ago, there were 192 cars that you could buy. That represents a 57% drop. We're not just talking a decline anymore, we are talking an extinction level event. Now, what do I mean by extinction level? Well, think about it. Don't forget that by 2030, here in the UK, you won't be able to buy any more pure petrol or diesel cars. Not even mild hybrids, which sometimes do actually come with manual gearboxes. For example, the Suzuki Swift. You know what doesn't come with a manual gearbox? Full EVs and full hybrids. Which is why, from 2030 onwards, there will not be any manual cars for sale. We've got less than 5 years before new manual cars are completely wiped off the market. Completely gone. Extinction level event. It's just like, for example, you remember the video stores that you used to have on your local high streets, and they've now disappeared into nostalgic TikToks and angry Reddit threads. We're not talking some slow fade out. This is a ticking time bomb for anyone who still cares about driving. And if you think that, it's just about shifting gears, no, come on. Changing gear, this is the very soul of driving. I'm not being dramatic, although I guess I'm being desperate here a little bit. This isn't just news. This is like finding out that your favorite actor has just died and there'll be no more movies by that actor ever again. It's like when Leonard Nimoy died. So this isn't one of those back in the day rants. Okay, maybe part of it is actually, but it's about today because this is happening now. And right now, the manual gearbox is, well, it's suffering a slow, drawn out and painful death at the hands of legislation and complacent consumers. But if you're a car lover, a proper petrolhead, or just someone who thinks driving should involve you doing the driving and not just pointing a metal box in a direction and letting all the tech take over, then this story is going to hit you right in the combustion chamber. And I'll tell you more right after this.
A brown car guy. Brown car guy.
So this is the latest report from CarGurus, and they analyze the top 30 car brands here in the UK. Now in 2025, this year, there are only, like I said, 82 new models available with a manual gearbox. But back in 2015, there were 192. That is a 57% nosedive. But get this, just from last year to this year is an 8% drop. That means now that there's only 29% of all new models that are offered here in the UK come with a manual option. Now think about that. That's less than a third of new cars. You've got more chance of finding a petrol station with working air and water than finding a brand new manual car. And get this, 5 major brands no longer offer a manual transmission at all. And those include Mercedes-Benz, Land Rover, Volvo, and Lexus. And can you believe Mini? Yeah, Mini. The very definition of a fun, flickable little car. No manual. Yeah, really. And let's stay with the BMW group. You can get a manual 1 Series and a 2 Series. And thankfully the M2. But you cannot get manual M3s and M4s here anymore. And this is from one of the manufacturers that was probably the most renowned for brilliant manual transmissions. And the other one that made terrific manual gearboxes, slick changing boxes, was of course Honda. Now there's only one manual available in their range, and that is the Civic Type R. So what is going on here? Why the shift away from, well, shifting? Well, let's look at the different factors that are affecting it. Electrification. Electric cars don't need gearboxes. 1 gear is enough, you press, you go. That's great for your nan, but not so much for your rumble strip wet dreams. Tech-driven driving. So cars today come with radar, cruise control, lane keeping assist, automatic braking, and of course AI that tells you that you're not driving efficiently enough. Mate, I was enjoying that B-road until you insisted I took a T-brake. Plus cost and complexity. Now believe it or not, this didn't used to be the case back in the day, but now Automatics are cheaper to make at scale than manuals, especially things like CVTs and dual clutch gearboxes. Plus, it's just easier for manufacturers to standardize powertrains globally, and it cuts costs down. Finally, of course, there is consumer laziness. Sorry, not sorry, but this one is down to you guys, I'm afraid. Drivers today don't want to think about doing any work for themselves. They're too busy texting to worry about what gear they're in. Hope you're enjoying this video. Make sure to hit like, share, and subscribe if you're not already doing so. And support independent automotive journalism channels like mine. You can do that at patreon.com, coffee.com, or taking out a subscription right here on YouTube. Or you know what, better still, you can go and buy my books. I've got 3 books out now. They're all on Amazon. They're all available to buy. More details on this are in the description, but buying any of these books will certainly help. Thanks so much for watching. In the CarGurus survey, only 28% of people said that they would miss manual gearboxes. Only 35% of over 65s said that they would miss a clutch. And younger people, this is even less the case. We've gone from heel and toe to built-in driver monitoring cameras and asked the question, does it take a selfie? But whether drivers want manuals or not, they're fast running out of choice. They're simply not being offered anymore. So if you walked into a dealership today looking for, a hot hatch type car, a small, fun, engaging new manual car, your options are basically down to a handful of heroes. The aforementioned Honda Civic Type R, although frankly, that's not really a small hatchback anymore. That's a pretty big saloon now, feels like. The Mazda MX-5, that is a good one. The Porsche 911 actually still do a manual version, or some other base spec learner car. And then that's about it. We are being nudged, coaxed and herded into automatics. It's been a soft transition, like the growing aches and pains of creeping age. By the time you notice them, it's too late to do anything about them. Believe me, I know. my left knee isn't what it once was, that's for sure. But I'll tell you what, I'll still put up with a clutch pedal any day of the week, despite that. Now let's get into the heart of it. The manual gearbox isn't just a component in a car, it's an experience. It's the thing that connects you to the machine. It's why some of us fell in love with driving in the first place. The feel of a perfectly timed shift. The moment that you blip the throttle and rev match on the rare occasions that I get it right. Oh, how awesome does it feel? That chirp that you get from the tires when you sidestep the clutch and nail the throttle. You can't replicate that sort of experience with paddles or buttons or AI dynamic driving modes. When we lose manuals, we lose more than just, a clutch pedal and a stick. We lose control, we lose emotion, we lose character, we lose the love of driving potentially. But maybe all is not lost. Here is some good news. The used car market, compared to the new market, is actually still teeming with manuals. On Auto Trader right now, there's nearly 201,000 manual cars listed for sale compared to 277,000 automatics. That's still 42% of the market. Plus, as mentioned, right now, there are still new models that you can buy with gears that you can shift yourself. You just gotta hunt for them a bit harder, be a bit braver, and maybe dodge the salesman that's trying to sell you that lease on a hybrid SUV EV that you didn't really ask for. So you know what, buy a manual now while you still can, even if it's just for the weekends. Get your kids to learn to drive a manual. Keep the skills alive, because once the manual is gone, it's gone. It's not coming back. Or is it? There is one ray of hope, because some manufacturers, such as Toyota and Lexus, part of the same family of course, they've been quietly working on simulated manual gearboxes for electric cars. We're talking actual H-pattern shifters and clutch pedals that don't need to be there, but are, purely for the feel. The Toyota patents describe systems that let drivers roll through the gears, through the virtual gears, with torque modulation, simulated engine revs, and even the possibility of stalling. Bonkers, yeah? But brilliant. Yeah. Artificial? Yeah, definitely. Of course it is artificial. But you know what? At least it's an effort to keep the magic of manuals alive even in the EV era. So maybe, just maybe, there is hope that future generations might still get to experience the joy of shifting gears, even if it's a digital one. But until then, we still have one shot left. So here's my plea, let's save the manuals. Let's not roll over and accept a future where every car feels like a washing machine on spin cycle. Let's not go quietly into that driverless, soulless, button-pressing future. Let's shout loud, loud enough that car makers hear us, and remember that driving is supposed to be about fun, not just functional. Buy a manual while you still can. Drive it, enjoy it, teach your kids, teach your neighbors, teach your dog, teach anyone you can find. Keep this skill alive and share this video. Tag your mates that still drive manual cars. Actually, tag your mates that don't drive manual cars. Don't forget to go into dealers and tell manufacturers that you still want manuals and you're still willing to pay for them. We're not done shifting gears yet. We're not ready to let go, because driving isn't just about getting from A to B. It's about the journey, the rhythm, the connection with the car. Driving a car is freedom. The feeling that you get from it is something that's worth fighting for. So long live the clutch, long live the gear lever, long live the driver. Don't forget to hit like if you love manuals, comment about them, and subscribe to the channel if you believe that manuals still matter and we should keep this conversation going. I'll catch you all in the next video. Running a business these days, especially if you're a one-man army, is exhausting. Believe me, I can tell you all about it. From getting new clients to chasing payments to creating the content, it can be chaos. That's why I want to tell you about my friends at Strategency. Now, they help solopreneurs and small business owners, especially folks in the car scene, automate, scale, and actually grow their business. Websites, content strategy, Instagram, WhatsApp, it's all sorted. If you're ready to go from being overwhelmed to in control, book a 15-minute consult at the link in the description. And tell them Brown Car Guy sent you. Shout out time, guys. Thank you so much. Hey, if you enjoy my content, why not get involved? Buy me a coffee. You can do that at either of these links. Or if you're watching on YouTube, buy me a thanks or take out a membership. It all helps. It really does.